News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moskow.
Karen, we begin with efforts to reopen the government 4 days into a partial shutdown. President Trump is urging House Republicans to pass the measure that would fund the Homeland Security Department for 2 weeks. That's to allow for more time to negotiate on limits to immigration enforcement. The president says even Democrats want to see this resolved.
I spoke with Senator Schumer numerous times, and I don't think they want to see a shutdown either.
President Trump spoke from the Oval Office. A couple of Republican holdouts, Anna Paulina Luna of Florida and Tennessee's Tim Burchett, dropped their opposition to the bill after speaking with the White House. That clears the way for a vote today. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffrey says Democrats are pushing for dramatic changes.
The American people want to see the mask come off. The American people want to see body cameras turned on.
House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries. Now, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says ICE agents will start wearing body cameras in Minneapolis after the outcry over 2 American deaths there last month. But as the shutdown continues, its effects are being felt. The Labor Department says the January jobs report that was due this Friday will be delayed because the agency is closed.
Nathan, President Trump says he's seeking $1 billion in damages from Harvard University after the New York Times reported that his administration had backed off demands for $200 million to satisfy accusations of wrongdoing by the Ivy League institution. Trump called the Times article completely wrong. The administration has waged an aggressive campaign against Harvard and other universities over accusations of anti-Semitism linked to campus protests against Israel's military campaign in the Gaza Strip.
Karen, there are new developments in the Jeffrey Epstein case. Former President Bill Clinton and his wife, former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, are now agreeing to testify in the House Oversight Committee's investigation into the late sex offender. The full House had planned to vote this week to hold the Clintons in criminal contempt if they continued to defy subpoenas. Now, Republican Congresswoman Virginia Foxx says that vote is on hold.
However, should there not be substantial compliance and agreement overnight, the committee will return to continue the hearing on the contempt.
Republican Virginia Foxx spoke at a committee hearing on the contempt vote.
In another development, Nathan, the NFL says it will review emails that have surfaced between Jeffrey Epstein and New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch. Dozens of them were released in the Justice Department's latest batch of millions of Epstein files. Commissioner Roger Goodell says it's too soon to say whether Tisch will face punishment.
We are going to look at all the facts. We're going to look at the context of those. We're going to try to understand that. And we'll look at how that falls under the policy. But I think we take one step at a time. Let's get the facts first.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell spoke at the league's annual pre-Super Bowl news conference. Tisch released a statement saying he had a brief association with Epstein, but never took up any of his invitations and never visited his island.
Now, Karen, let's turn to the latest on geopolitics. President Trump says he anticipates talks with Iran over a new nuclear deal in the coming days. The president spoke with reporters at the White House.
Right now, we're talking to them. We're talking to Iran, and if we could work something out, that'd be great. And if we can't, Probably bad things would happen.
The president spoke after Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei warned over the weekend of a regional war if his country is attacked.
Nathan, President Trump and India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi have agreed to a surprise deal to slash American tariffs. U.S. levies on Indian goods are being cut from 25% to 18%, while an additional 25% punitive duty tied to purchases of Russian oil is being scrapped. Writing on social media, the president said India had agreed to buy $500 billion of U.S. goods and halt crude purchases from Russia as part of the deal.
Turning to the markets now, Karen, futures are higher following yesterday's gains on Wall Street. Dip buyers are back in precious metals. Gold is up 5.5% after dropping 13% the last 2 days. And silver is surging more than 12.5% this morning. That precious metal plunged more than 30% since last week. James Steele is chief precious metals analyst at HSBC.
Any commodity that has this parabolic rally that gold and silver had, and the new entrants into the market, which they were flooding in and have been for many, many months now, it really does invite A, volatility, and B, profit-taking stroke liquidation on any news or developments that run counter to gold.
HSBC Chief Precious Metals Analyst James Steele thinks gold may reach $5,500 an ounce this year. Right now, it's trading at $49.19.
That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moskow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.